The Buffalo Niagara Airport is slowly reopening after it was forced to close by the blizzard. A lot of flights are still delayed, with FlightAware reporting about 92 cancellations over the last 24 hours. Channel 2's Ron Plants is at the airport today, where he met with some travelers from all around the world. Ron, just trying to get home if they can.
Yeah, that's the situation, Kate. Since the airport did reopen officially at 11 o'clock this morning, they've been trying to ramp up the operations here. They say again that they were dealing with up to 5 feet out on the runways and in some of the areas around the terminal and in some of the parking lots. So that's what they were dealing with that cleanup. So again, a limited flight schedule today. You were referring to FlightAware with some of the cancellations previously. Today, coming in here on the flight status board, I would say so far 12 arrivals, some from Atlanta, Chicago, and Newark, and about 8 departures as at this point. But again, as you were pointing out, I did meet some interesting people here today, spanning the globe, if you will, from Australia to Alaska. We'll start in the lower level of the airport terminal in the fairly quiet luggage carousel today to meet a visitor from down under. Get it? Williamsville East grad Jessica Seebauer, now of Perth, Australia, back in town to help with a family illness. Her journey here?
I was originally leaving Perth on the day after Christmas, so Boxing Day, and arriving here yesterday. Obviously, airport was closed. And the fortunate thing is that we had a unplanned stopover in Hawaii, so I got 8 hours on Waikiki Beach.
Okay, so that makes it a little more palatable.
Yeah, it does.
Had you heard how hard it might be to try to get in here?
Well, I did hear about the storm. I did hear that the airport was going to be reopening on Tuesday, which was the day that I was flying in anyway, and it wasn't until I had already started my traveling, which was about 60 hours to get here, by the way. Yeah, when I had already started traveling, then I was told that the airport was closed. I didn't know how I was going to get here.
Is it something you think you're going to have to adjust to? I don't know what it's... In Australia, I don't think they get snow, do they at all?
We don't get snow where I am. We are driving on the left side of the road, so that would be a bit of an adjustment as well, but I'll be fine.
Now let's shift focus to Anchorage, Alaska, the temporary home of Quinn Cooley, a college intern who is greeting his family for a week off in the town of Hamburg and taking in all the snow of western New York.
It's actually snowier here in Buffalo than Alaska right now. Yes. yeah.
And what were they saying up there about
it? They just saw the pictures of like Hoke's restaurant here frozen and just couldn't believe it. Just like the ice everywhere and stuff like that.
The people in Alaska?
In Alaska, yes. Yes, yeah, they were
and
like...
you're telling them, yeah, I can handle this.
Yeah, I escaped the snow by moving to Alaska for the winter here.
I would say so. People in generally good spirits from what we've seen here. But we did notice that a number of travelers were over at the Southwest ticket counter, which is kind of right over my shoulder over there. And of course, that airline canceled most of their flights here in Buffalo and also around the country. So, Kate, perhaps some interesting discussions going on over there, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, to say the least. And I have to tell you, got plenty of chuckles here in the studio when it comes to Alaska, saying that, wow, Buffalo's really got something going on there.
Yeah, well, maybe, I guess they're just watching what's happening down here and thinking, boy, I'm glad we don't live down there, instead of us thinking, I don't know if I want to live in Alaska with all the cold and the snow, but yeah, they're, I guess, just, wow, look at what they're dealing with.
Right.
One of those things.
It just goes to show you never know what it's like.
No, and I got to say, Jessica, a really nice lady to talk to. I was kind of curious to see if I heard a little bit of an Australian accent there. I didn't hear it, although, again, this is a young lady who was from the Amherst area and went to Williamsville East, so maybe she just hasn't picked up the tiny kangaroo down, or whatever that thing is. Tiny kangaroo down, whatever it is.
Sport,
I
is
don't
that what
rescue
it is?
me.
Oh, I don't know. We'll have to look
I don't
that
know.
up. Thank you so much, Ron, out at the airport. Appreciate it, Ron.